right, hi boys and girls, it is Friday. So we're going to continue with our how-to writing. We will not finish them this week. So next week we will finish them because we still have a couple more parts to do to make it perfect. So we're just going to keep continuing on, and then you'll take a break over the weekend, and then on Monday we'll pick it back up. All right, let's share my screen with you. So today is Friday, May 8th, 2020. So we're continuing to do writing for our how-to piece. So today is writing steps. So yesterday we worked on our introduction. Today we're going to start writing the steps. So our learning target for today is I can write steps for a how-to writing piece. So by the end of this lesson, I will be done with writing my steps. But then by the end of the day today, you should be done writing your how-to pieces, your steps for your how-to piece. Okay, let's go to our video that's gonna tell us a little bit more about how to write steps for how-to writing.
How-to Writing, Episode 3, Writing Steps. We write how-to writing to teach others. I am writing how to grow a plant. I've already written an introduction where I hooked the reader, introduced the topic, and listed the materials needed. Now I'm ready to write the steps. My steps should tell the reader what to do in order. It should also include pictures that help teach the reader. And there should be transition words like first, next, then, and last. Step 1. First, you should fill your flower pot with soil. Step 2. Next, put a few seeds into the soil. Step 3. Then, sprinkle water into the pot. Step 4. Last, put the pot in the sun and wait for your plant to grow. I told the steps in order, added pictures, and used transition words. Watch episode 4 to see how I revise my steps to make them even better.
Okay. So, our steps for writing a how-to piece. The very first thing is we want them to be in order. So when I'm writing a how-to story, I want to make sure I'm going in order of how to do this. I don't want to just start at the end or start somewhere random, because if I'm following along and trying to do what you're writing, I won't be able to do it because your orders are out of place. So you have to make sure the most important thing is to write your steps in order. We want to include a picture to show each step. It might be a little difficult because we're doing it on the computer, but I'm going to show you that how you can go and get a picture and put it with your step to make it make sense. It's a little bit easier when we're drawing our steps, but we can do it on the computer too. So we want to make sure we at least have one picture for each step that shows the reader what we're doing. And so the last thing is use transition words. So I don't want to say this. I want to give steps. So first, next, then, last. So those are the 4, because we're working with 4 steps in our writing. So we want to make sure that each of those steps has one of those transition words. It's just a big fancy. They're called transition words because they're letting me know what comes next. So first, this happened. Next, this. Then, last. So we want to make sure that we include those. So now I'm going to show you how to write the steps for the topic that I picked. Does anybody remember the topic that I picked? Yes, I heard it. I hope when I'm all done with my how-to story that some of you will actually make my tacos, and then you'll take pictures and send them to me. It will make me so happy. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my same document from yesterday. So when you click on your Google Classroom, your document, it should be the same one as yesterday. So if it's not the same one as yesterday, you need to go back and find the one from yesterday, because you don't want to start on a new piece of paper. You want to continue right where you have all your planning done. So this is what we did yesterday. We wrote our introduction. So this is my introduction right here, and then I stopped. So I'm going to scroll down, and now you want to go past the stop. So this is yesterday's stop. Now I want to go to part 3, writing steps. So if you look, I have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and then it has a stop, just like yesterday. I'm going to stop after this. I'm not going to go past. You don't see anything past this because I haven't planned it yet. I know what's coming next. I just haven't wrote it on our document. I'll do that by the end of this week. So I just don't want to upload it yet so that you guys get confused, or I don't want you to see what's coming next. So right after this, you're going to stop after your steps. So that's just today. So today we're just focusing on writing the 4 steps. Okay, writing steps. So step 1. So when you're typing, you're just going to click right here in the box, right under the step. And then you're just going to start typing your steps. You want to make sure, I know sometimes when we pick a topic, you have to tell somebody how to do it in more than 4 steps, but I want you to try to put things together so that you only come up with 4 main steps. So my story is how to make tacos. So I'm going to make sure that I'm picking 4 big ideas to help you make tacos. I want you to be able to make tacos in 4 steps. So first, step 1 is always first. And then after our transition word, because it's a big fancy word, I kind of first, taking a little breath. So I want to include that comma always after my transition word. So first, you guys, I'm using the word you because I want my reader, they're reading it and it's you. So I'm not going to say first because I'm not writing it for me. I'm writing it for you guys. I'm writing it for my reader. So I want to make sure I'm using the word you and not me or I. So first, you need to take out all of your ingredients. I want you to take out all of your ingredients. So you might not remember what all the ingredients are. You can go back to the introduction and read it, or, oops, spelled ingredient wrong. Let's change that. Or I'm going to write them out in here. So first you need to take out all your ingredients. So take out the ground beef, tomatoes. So when we are listing things, we include commas. So if you notice, I have ground beef, comma, tomatoes, comma, lettuce, comma, cheese, comma, and taco shells. I don't need a comma for the last one. I just say and. When I get to the very last list, right, and taco shells. So take out the ground beef, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, and taco shells. Okay, so that is my first step. So first, you need to take out all of your ingredients. You have to take out your ground beef, you have to take out your tomatoes, cheese, lettuce, and taco shell. So now I wrote my step 1. I need to include some pictures of step 1. So I have a lot of pictures saved on my computer, but I'm going to show you how to get pictures. Oh, first, hold on, don't let me forget. Oh, okay. So this part, I already have a bunch of my pictures saved. So if you have pictures saved on your computer, you go up here to where it says this insert image, and I'm going to say upload from computer because look, I have all my pictures here. So I'm going to tap all. I need my beef, I need my cheese, I need my lettuce, I need my shells, and I need my tomatoes. I'm going to open, and I'm going to add them all here. If you see, they're ginormous. I don't want them to be that ginormous. So I'm going to click on my image and then make them tiny. So I just clicked on my image. I went in the corner. I dragged it to make it tiny because I don't need these big, huge images. So just make them teeny tiny. Okay, I can make them even tinier so that they all fit together. Okay. So now if we look, we can move on. Okay, so now if we look, First, you need to take out all of your ingredients. Take out your ground beef. I have that here. My tomatoes, I have it here. My lettuce, I have it here. My cheese, and my taco shells. So I have all my pictures for my ingredients. So that's how you can pick pictures. Whatever you're writing about, you include it. So step 1 is done for me. Now I want to go on to step 2. So step 2. So step 1 always starts with first. Step 2 should always start with then. Okay, so then you need to call over your parent to help you turn on the stove. So that's going to be my next step. You need to we can call over a parent. Because sometimes you might have 2 parents. You don't want to call them both over. You just need one. So then you need to call over a parent to help you turn on the stove. So what am I going to need to cook my meat? So as you're doing your steps, you might notice that you might be forgetting some ingredients, and that's okay. You can always just go back and fix it. So then you need to call over a parent to help you turn on the stove. I need to grab heat a pan on the stove and cook your ground beef until it is brown. Because when you buy ground beef at the store, it's red, and we want to make sure that we cook it until it's brown. So I noticed you need to heat a pan. I forgot to add that to my ingredient. So look, I'm going to show you exactly what you do. You can go to your introduction from yesterday, and remember where I wrote include materials. I'm going to go and include all that back here. So I will need ground beef. I want to write a pan in there. So I added it right in there. And then I have to make sure that I go down here and I add it too. So if you forget something while you're writing your steps, that is perfectly fine. That lets me know that you're thinking and that you're actually thinking out these steps to do them. So I forgot pan. So I know that you guys need a pan. So I need to go back and put that in there. So then you need to call over a parent to help you turn on the stove. You need to heat a pan on the stove and cook your ground beef until it is brown. So now I'm going to show you, if you don't have pictures, hold on. First of all, I do have some. I have my stove here and I have my parents here. So I'm going to put them here and I'm going to make them tiny because I don't need these big pictures. So I have my parents and I have my stove. Okay, so, but I don't have a pan. So I want to include a picture of that. So this is how you're going to find a picture on Google in order to add it without it being on your computer. So I'm going to go to that same button, insert image. Now I'm just going to click the search the web. So when I go to search the web, it will look just, oh, where'd it go? Okay, search the web. It will look just like this. So in this box right here, it says search for image. I can go and I can search. So I want to look for a pan. So all I did is I typed in what I want to look for. I want a pan, and oh, this is kind of like the pan I want. And I just click on it. So I clicked on it. It has a circle with the check mark. And then I want to go right here where it says insert. And then it's going to put my pan right there. So super cool. So you don't need to have these pictures saved on your computer like I did for some of them. You can just go and search the web on that tab. I'll show you again in case you forgot. And you can add your pictures just like that. So I have my pan, I have my stove, I have my pan. All right. So step 2 is done. Step 3 always starts, oops, I lied about step 2, sorry. Step 2 always starts with next. Step 2 always starts with next. Step 3 always starts with then. So then you need to slice your tomato. Oh, then you need a parent. Don't forget, I can't forget that part because I don't want you slicing and dicing without a parent. So then you need a parent to help you slice the tomatoes and lettuce. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and add my pictures. I remember I already have my lettuce and my tomatoes from my earlier. Now to make them teeny tiny because we don't need the big pictures here. Okay, so I have my lettuce and my tomatoes. So then you need a parent. Ooh, I forget something. Then you need a parent to help you slice the tomatoes and lettuce using a knife. Okay, so now I need to go back and I don't have the knife picture saved. So this is how I'm going to add my picture again. I go up here to insert image. I go to search the web and I'm going to type in here, I want a knife. That looks like a nice. So if I double click on it, it will show up here, or you could click on it and insert. And then I make it small. I don't need a huge knife. Okay, so now I have my lettuce, my tomato, and my knife. So if you notice, I have a picture that's describing exactly what's going on. I'm not just putting random pictures in here. I'm actually putting pictures that make sense. Okay, now I'm on the last step. So last, step 4 always starts with last. So last, need to put your tacos together. Okay, so last you need to put your tacos together. I'm going to tell you how to put them tacos together. Get your shell, add your ground beef to it, then add the cheese. I like to put cheese on top of my ground beef because the ground beef is hot and then you put the cheese on it and it kind of melts. So I like to put my cheese, then my lettuce, and then my tomatoes. Oh, most importantly, well, I don't want to include that. I'll make it simple. Shells. Does anybody ever eat one taco? No. So last you need to put your tacos together. Get your shells, add your ground beef to it, then add the cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. Next, oops, I can put, so even in this last step, I'm including last, next, then, because I'm kind of giving you steps within a step. So last, you need to put your tacos together, get your shells, add your ground beef to it. Next, add the cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. Then take a big bite. Because who wants to make tacos and not eat them? Not me. So now I need to make a picture. I have this one saved on my computer, so I'm just gonna go here and open it. So here's a picture of my tacos made. And I can push this down too if you want. I want to make sure that my tacos are up there with step 4. Okay. Okay, so now I have a picture of my tacos. So let's go back and look it over to make sure it makes sense. So step 1, first you need to take out all of your ingredients. Take out the ground beef, the lettuce, the cheese, the taco shells, tomatoes. Okay, I have a picture for each of them and I'm explaining what the first step is. Next, you need to call over a parent to help you turn on the stove. You need to heat a pan on the stove and cook your ground beef until it is brown. Remember, we don't want any red ground beef. We want it brown. So I have my parent, my stove, my pan. Then you need a parent to help you slice the tomatoes and lettuce using a knife. My lettuce, my tomatoes, and my knife. Okay, my pictures go right with my story. Step 4, last, you need to put your tacos together. Get your shells, add your ground beef to it. Next, add the cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. Then take a big bite. All right. Okay, friends. So I really like that. I think that would make a great taco. So if I was reading the story and I was following these steps, I should be able to do it based on what I wrote. So now it says stop. So I'm going to stop for today. And then next week, we will continue on. So now it's your turn. You're going to go onto your Google document and you're going to complete the part 3, just like I did right now. So I'm going to show you when you go to your Google Classroom for Friday, if you click on your how-to document. So this will all be filled out from yesterday. Part 2 will all be done because you would have done that yesterday. You can't do part 3 unless you did part 2. So if you didn't do part 2, make sure you go back and watch yesterday's video and do part 2. So today is part 3. You scroll down to part 3 and you're going to do your steps just like I did my steps. Okay, let's go look at our learning target. I can write steps for how to piece. Okay, I have a thumbs up because I did mine. Yours might be down right now, but what do you think they're going to be when you're done with your assignment? Yeah, I think they're going to be up too. I think they're going to be up. So that's what you're going to be doing today. Okay, friends, today's lesson is a little bit longer, so I want you to make sure that you're taking your time, you're not rushing, and you're trying your best. So on Monday, after the weekend, we will come back and we will finish on working on our how-to writing. I think we have 2 or 3 more days of this writing, and then we'll probably start getting into some review stuff for the end of next week because we don't want to start a new writing piece. And then the week after that, we'll start a brand new how-to writing so that you guys can get very familiar with writing them. All right, boys and girls, I can't wait to see what you did. I hope you guys are working super, super hard. Remember, if you didn't do yesterday's video, you need to go back and watch that first before you do today's because you can't do step 3 without doing step 2. All right? See you guys after the weekend. Bye.